All right, good evening, guys. Just wanted to go over this proposal that I just sent for you. This is what we discussed, creating spaces that are completely hands off. So all of the equipment is tucked away in a closet, secured, and the only thing that anyone would need to do when they walk in is either plug in their laptop or turn on the PC. And they've got two simple volume controls on the wall, one for their microphone and one for the computer audio. That's it. So I've got something put together that I think addresses those needs. And, one of the most frustrating things for me is to is to try to work with things, knowing that, and keep things running that I know are not going to be dependable or not designed for what they're being used for, things like that. One of the most satisfying things for me is to be able to correct that and to be able to create something that I know is going to be dependable, that it's going to be predictable, and anybody is going to be able to use, and it's going to be simple. So that's our thing. We give we give the customer the level of technology they need with a simple interface that they can use. So let's go through the proposal really quick. I've got HDMI pass-through plates, two for each space, one for a PC and one for a laptop. So the PC stays where it is in a desktop or whatever, so that it's easily accessible. But and it's plugged in, but then right next to it we've got another plug-in labeled laptop. Somebody brings in, boom, we've got an auto switcher built into the closet so that it automatically switches between those sources while keeping connection with both sources, both computers. So then we've got an SDI pass-through plate. That's to get our camera back to the capture card to the computer for Zoom. And then we've got the fiber optic HDMI cables, because all the blinking going on the displays and stuff like that, that's just because we're trying to make HDMI go farther than it's designed to, and it's unstable. The best way to do that is to install fiber optic HDMI cables. Fiber optic doesn't even know if it's been a foot or a mile. It doesn't care because it's light. And so it is basically like using no cable at all. So I want to replace all of them with fiber optic cables, from the plates to back to the closet, from the closet to the projector and the display, all of that. Replace all of that with a bundled fiber optic in the wall, through the plenum, managed neatly in the attic. And then we've got 5 heavy-duty 20-foot HDMI cables. That's so you can put them back for people to plug into the wall, plug in their laptop. So there's always something available for them. And we even talked about even like coiling that and leaving it to the side. But that's something that we can leave for you to manage. There's our auto switchers from Kramer, because you don't want to scrimp on the auto switcher, because Kramer's will just keep trucking forever, whereas an inexpensive switcher is nothing but problems. And so we want this to work every time somebody plugs something in. The RDL line level mixers, there's 2 in each space. And the reason for that, it's 2 3-channel mixers. One of them is handling the headset microphone or the lapel microphone, whichever it is, the microphone, the hanging microphones for the Zoom audience microphones, and then it's handling the computer audio. And then it's sending all of those to Zoom. There's no volume control for it. I'm going to set it in the room, in the closet, set the volumes, and then it's going straight to Zoom. The other one is handling those 2 of those. It doesn't need the audience microphone, so it's handling the microphone and the computer audio, and then it's giving the 2 volume controls on the wall for whoever's using the space, and they can adjust it to their heart's content, and but not affect the Zoom. So there's 2 of those in each room. And then the the DRC2s are the remote mixing control. That's the 2 volume knobs, decor plates that go in each room. And then the network drops that's connected via network cable. So I purposely put, even though it's not an expensive piece, and I could have put it into installation materials, I wanted this to be on here invisible, this is a 4U vertical wall mount patch panel bracket. So the reason I put that in there is because you've got ART amplifiers in every space. They're larger, they're rack mount units, but they're a great amp. We use them for commercial installs, so it really would be a waste for us not to use those amplifiers. So what we're going to do is put those vertically mounted on the wall in the closet, and there's 4 spaces, so we can have one for that, and then the other space on there is going to be for our new power sequencers. So we're just going to use a full-on rack mount power sequencer in there, and then the RS2 remote system here control is a push button for it to turn the system on and off. So you basically, on the wall, you've got a button to turn everything on, you've got a place to plug in your laptop, and 2 volume controls that are labeled. You can't get any simpler. So then what I did is I included the Epson 810E short throw projectors. I know you're looking to change out all your projectors, and even if you don't use ours and you want to supply your own, look into these projectors, because the Epson 810E, we've installed them in churches so far, but I've been looking for a reason to install one in an educational space. I'll show you let me see if I can find the image of this. So this is the 810E right here. I don't know if you can see, it's a small photo, but it's a ultra short throw projector, and it's 5,000 lumens. So it would light up those whiteboards, even with all the fluorescents on. Even if you don't switch over on Zoom, the person on the camera could still see the image very clearly. But you're going to have to get up around 5,000 lumens laser to be able to paint that on that whiteboard with all those fluorescent lights on. Right now it's just super dim and it's hard to see. This would take care of that. It would literally look painted on. So I would love for you to consider those 4. Don't need one for the conference room because there's a TV in there, but there's 4 of those with the mounts, and then there's materials and labor. And guys, whatever you decide to do, I would love for you to consider what we're proposing as far as making it as simple as possible for the people using the room. It's less about predictability for you guys. I know it's about, it needs to be predictable because you're running in ahead of a meeting and trying to get everything working and stuff like that. But if you're thinking about the presenter or the people that are using the space, just the ability to walk in, plug in, and everything, it completely takes their mind off the technology and on what they're doing and on what they're presenting. And so I think we've come up with a great solution for you. This is going to hit just over $40,000 after tax, and it's about half of what we originally proposed. Originally, we were proposing computers and everything else, and 2 cameras in each room. But I think for the money, this is going to be golden. This is going to be something that is going to create spaces that people will want to duplicate across campus. And so that's kind of what we're shooting for here. So let me know how this hits, if we've hit it too hard or whatever, if you have any questions or whatever. But just give me a call, 870-814-0714. You can talk to Leah or Tara, anybody there. But or you can just email me, jerry@bensberg.tech or jerry@evolvealarm.com, and just let me know what you think. All right, thanks guys.